everybody. I'm your host, Jim Andre. I'm here with my co-host, Bradley Powers, and we have a special guest this evening, Nancy Thames, who is an alien contactee and spiritualist. How's everybody doing this evening?
Yeah,
I'm doing good.
thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Very good. Very good.
Nancy Thames. Thames. That's an unusual. I haven't heard that surname before. Thames is a river that runs through London.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people mess it up, but that's okay. I've been called worse.
Nancy, are you from down south originally, or?
Absolutely. I grew up in Tennessee,
I
and
can tell by your
yeah,
accent.
yeah, absolutely. I'm a Southerner, that's for sure.
Okay, and okay, this is your opportunity to let the viewers know a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am a contactee, a lifelong contactee. I've had experiences all my life. I did work for the Department of Defense, but really and truly, I did have a security clearance, but it was mainly because I worked in the dental field, and I was a civilian, and I worked around generals, commanders, and officers. And, you know, we would hear them talking about things, but I would never repeat anything I heard or anything like that. So really, though, the main thing is the fact that I'm an experiencer, contactee. I do not call myself an abductee because I find it quite enjoyable. I have a relationship with extraterrestrials, and I have grown to love them. It did take me a while to get over fears and things of this nature, but you know, and it started when I was little. I have memories back as far as a toddler, and then as I got older, and they felt like it was time for me to start having more conscious memories, because before that they would just do like screen memory and make images. I would see images of them differently. They would pick something from my mind and change the scenery and to make it a pleasant experience. So then when they started consciously, you know, showing themselves to me as they are, then, you know, at first I was a little scared, but, you know, I started asking them questions, you know, because I found out pretty quickly that staying up all night or trying to avoid this is, you know, it's not going to change anything, you know.
Right.
So, and so once I, you know, realized that it is what it is, and I accepted it, everything got a lot better for me, you know, and it's really, I look forward to having visits with them. And I've learned a great deal.
I think the most important thing is the understanding of what is transpiring.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. You know, people can misunderstand it for a lot of reasons. You know, some of them don't look like us. You know,
right.
And they stick pretty much to task. You know, and there's no negotiating. They're here to, you know, to check on us to see how we're evolving mentally, socially, you know, all these things. They really care about us, and a lot of people just don't understand what they're doing. So,
well, I mean, you know, it's a hard thing for people to understand. Those who have never experienced it, you know, it's hard for them to believe anything unless they've experienced it themselves.
So. That is true. And, you know, I just hope that I can help other people to understand. They have let me experience certain fears and experience certain things in my life, because being a human being, we're here to learn. This is a school. You know, this is a very short experience compared to the other beings in the universe. So the thing that's troubling to me, and what I've learned from extraterrestrials, is that humanity needs to wake up and realize that we've been lied to about our heritage, our extraterrestrial heritage. We've been lied to about so many things, even our history, you know.
Well, that's right. We've been brainwashed since birth.
Yes,
by society itself, and
that's
that's all
true.
by design.
Yes. And the foods that we eat are toxic. Extraterrestrials wouldn't touch our water or our food because there's so many toxins in it.
Yeah,
So,
agreed. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not all they do. I mean, they pollute the air, they pollute the water.
yes. And that's the thing. My son and I, they wanted us to come to Mexico and go up in the mountains. And we went to San Jose del Pacifico, which is 3 hours from I think you say it Hutaco, something like that. I'm not good with Spanish, but anyway, we had to drive 3 hours up to go up on a mountain, and it was up so high. We had a little altitude sickness, and it was very, very cold up there. But they wanted us to go up there and experience what it's like. They wanted us to meet this dying race of I guess Indians up there, and they're called the Zapato people, and a lot of people call them the people of the clouds, and they're a dying race. And this race is as old as the Mayans and the Incas, and they wanted my son and I to understand what it was like to have your whole humans to have their whole history about to end and nothing they can do about it. And it's simply because their young people don't want to learn the old traditions, and they're more interested in going to bigger cities and trying to learn technology and making money. So they wanted us to see and experience that. And they wanted us to also, this is a place that's very big into nature, and they wanted us to experience and learn that trees are living beings, plants are living beings, water is living, everything has energy and is a living being. Our earth is a living being. And they wanted us to have these experiences to understand that, everything we do, everything we do affects the balance of nature. And extraterrestrials love everything. What people don't understand is that we are just a minute part of what they love about planet Earth. They love us, but they love all the animals, all the plants, all the waterfalls, all the trees, rocks, insects, everything. They played a part in our creation and tinkered with our DNA. And they did the same with all of nature.
That's nature. Yeah, they love all of nature. See, we keep debating laws such as man's laws, and we keep debating laws such as man's laws and religious laws when they overlook the most important laws of all, and that's the laws of nature itself.
Absolutely,
because it is the laws of nature that rule over all other laws.
It is, yes.
Now we've got a Facebook user here asking, what particular type of aliens are you connected with, Nancy?
The small grays, the tall grays, humanoid looking. I don't really know, if they're Nordic or Palladian or Arturian. They're not completely human looking, but they look a lot like us. And I think that we're a combination of a lot of different races.
Well, I'm sure one thing, we all have alien DNA. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So, it's a beautiful thing. And they're here now. And they're waiting for us to wake up and realize, that we could have a much better life. We shouldn't be working as hard as we do. We should enjoy our youth. We should enjoy our middle ages and enjoy our senior lives, and not be caught up with this materialistic world that we're in. But that's the way we were raised. That's what we were taught. But now we are finally at an evolutionary stage where our DNA is activating and we're becoming much smarter human beings. And we are going to start to realize that things around us are not right. And we're going to resent the way that we've been taught to live, and realize that we can live different ways. We can have free energy. We can our bodies can learn to heal itself and all these different things. So what if we could just embrace the fact that extraterrestrials are here and that they're here to assist us? They cannot fix everything. We are here of free will. We make our mistakes, we have to fix them, but they will assist us and help us because they went through the same evolutionary change many millions of years ago. So they know what it's like for us, and they've seen other beings throughout the universe go through this. So, they're just waiting for us. They're not going to force it on anybody. And this is not just about us in the United States or even Mr. Bradley there over in Europe. I mean, I'm talking about the whole world,
Well, humanity.
They're here for the
as a
whole world, humanity.
Yeah,
And that's
right.
what I'm here for, is to help raise the vibrational level and educate humanity on
Well, man
ET's
has
presence
a
here.
lot to learn. Man has a lot to learn. He's intelligent, but he doesn't use it in the right way.
Yes.
Man has no one to compete against or no one to fear but himself. Okay.
Absolutely.
And his intelligence is actually a curse. For example, a cow grazing in a field is more than likely satisfied by doing just that, grazing in a field.
Right.
A man, due to his higher level of intelligence, will never truly be satisfied until he self-annihilates. See?
Well, we have a lot of things that need to change, but we also have a lot of capabilities that lie dormant. The toxins and things that we eat, our pineal gland has shrunk, so lots of these things that we naturally long time ago in the past we could do. And some people are still psychic and still have some of these abilities, but up until now, a lot of them.
We've been dumbed down, yes.
Yes, we've been very dumbed down. And then a lot of people were like prosecuted for having these wizard ways, so to speak.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you are definitely wide awake. There's no doubt about that, Nancy. Everything you're saying is accurate, actually. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Now, they finally have me vibrating at a very high frequency, and they've been doing this to me all my life. And when they would first do it, I'd be just laying in the bed and my body would start vibrating from head to toe, toe to head. And then all of a sudden I would start floating up. And then there would be my little female Mother Gray grabbing my hand and then taking me. But now it's totally different. I can feel their presence. They don't really have to even vibrate me up into changing my frequency so I can go through the walls and stuff. I'm kind of at a frequency where we don't have to do as much of that now. I just go.
You have to vibrate at a certain frequency to break down the molecular structure. Yeah.
Right. That way, because I never could understand how am I going through the wall, but I understand it now. But like I said, these things you don't understand everything overnight. It takes time. So, and extraterrestrials know that we have a lot of fear, and they know that it's a lot to understand. They know that it is.
See, that's what's so intricate about full disclosure, because of the fear factor.
Yes. Well, it's going to happen. I know that. All this.
Oh, it will. It will, yes.
Yeah. All this is by intentional design. I'm here for it. You're here for it. Mr. Bradley's here for it. And we're all working.
And we've all connected, right? And we've all connected.
We're all connected. Yes.
Yeah,
and,
we are light workers.
We are one. When you get down to it, we are one. We're all connected, and what we're in is a vessel. This is a temporary vessel. So if you got down to it and we were all take off our meat suits, we would all look alike, this etheric energy, an energy being. And a lot of extraterrestrial.
The physical body. Yeah, the physical body is a hindrance, really. I mean, it's like a hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. But It's really fascinating. I've learned so many things about looking within, finding out who I really am, and just understanding everything around me is connected and everything happens for a reason. And, all of a sudden you learn to forgive so easily. You learn to accept things. Things don't bother you, like it used to. You just kind of like have this
Right.
understanding of things. And it's very beautiful. It really is.
I agree.
It is.
I agree. I myself, I'm connected. I'm a contactee, and I started a group called the Alien Connection Truth Network Facebook page, and there's about 117,000 members in that.
Wow. That's amazing.
So, yeah. I've also got a website, jimandre.net, if you ever want to visit that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it's actually very vital and important for future events that are going to happen.
Oh, and things are going to happen. And one thing that I'll try to express to people, yes, the interdimensionals are very loving and care about everything. And they will never let nuclear weapons go into space or be played with here, because that would disturb the whole balance of nature. Innocent bystanders, like all these, there's some native tribes that never even been exposed to technology. So,
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Because, there's been UFOs spotted over different military bases worldwide that have nuclear weaponry. And when these UFOs are over these nuclear silos, they have the technology to shut down the power to the weaponry. And it takes the military 24 hours to reboot the system to bring it back to firing status. So that tells me their intention is to never allow a nuclear holocaust to.
They're not. They're not going to, because
I agree.
There's more.
I agree.
They care more about the whole planet Earth.
Yeah, they care about nature itself.
The animals, nature, innocent bystanders.
Right, and I wanna make this clear. They're not necessarily here to save man from man himself, but to save Mother Earth.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm so glad you say that, because that's what people need to know. I think everybody gets caught up.
Man is detrimental not only to the planet, but to himself.
Yeah. And so naive. They think it's all about them. It's not all about us, So,
Phoenix demise is mentioned the fact that the Earth is flat, in her opinion. What do you think about that, Nancy?
I think that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. The Earth is not flat. I've lived in the land down under, and I tell you, the water goes the opposite direction than it does in the United States. The water goes totally the opposite direction. When you flush your toilet, the water goes totally the opposite direction. Now, if we were on a flat Earth, it would not do that. I mean, and I've been through the international date line. I've flown through there so many times, and I promise you, the Earth is a sphere. It may not be a perfect round, but it's a sphere.
Yeah, it all depends on which side. It all depends on which side of the equator you're on, which way the water's going.
Yeah.
Is the Earth a hot solid? Is the Earth solid? Is the Earth a hollow Earth? Or is it agartha in the Earth, honeycomb Earth?
More like a honeycomb.
Yeah, I really don't know about that. It would not surprise me if there was people living down there. Like, if you really look into history, you can see at different points in time over in the Middle East and places, there was a lot of like they would build inside of rock caverns and things like that. So, there was something going on in the environment, or for some reason that they did that for protection. And I think a lot of those kind of things, and the pyramids even, I think there were civilizations long before the Egyptians, or, possibly, well, even the Mayans and even some of those. I think there were civilizations way before them. And now
geographically, geographically, you've got natural caves and caverns and stuff like that.
Yes. Did y'all watch the UFO hearings in Mexico?
I
the
did.
other day?
I think what the Pentagon is leading up to there is a planned future false flag alien invasion. To be honest with you.
Well, that's why I've been trying to express to people that the first extraterrestrials that we see may not be the interdimensional,
Right.
loving, caring ones. They may not be the first ones, but they won't be. It will not be long. They'll be right behind, you know.
Right.
And I know that some event is going to happen. I don't know exactly what it is. You know,
Well,
I'm a
you know,
human being, and they're not going to tell me everything. I mean,
the
you know.
legit aliens, regarding disclosure, the first open public UFO landing will be at Bach Towers in Florida.
You think
And
so?
I
Oh,
live,
wow.
and I
I'll have
live,
to look
I
that
live,
up.
I live 7 miles from Bach Towers.
Really?
I'm originally from Massachusetts. I'm a retired Massachusetts constable and motor coach bus driver. And when I
Wow.
retired, I relocated to Florida in this particular area for that very reason.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, I want to look that up. You'll have to send me a message in Messenger or something
Yeah,
so I
I'm
can.
gonna send you a link and location of Bach Towers.
Yeah,
It's like a bird sanctuary here in the state of Florida.
I would
And
love to go see it. Yeah, that's amazing.
coincidentally, it's the highest point of sea level in the state of Florida.
Wow.
And Florida is actually a pretty flat state.
Yeah, it's pretty hot too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
very
don't miss
hot.
them cold. I don't miss them cold winters up there.
I would know you don't. You know, I really think Key West all down in there is like the water's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about
There's a lot
our
of
planet. Our whole planet is really so beautiful.
yeah.
I mean,
And
you know,
there's a lot of energetic activity around here with the Bermuda Triangle. You know, the
oh yeah,
tropics.
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure they have underwater bases all around, especially around in Florida.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Yeah, yeah.
And around California, I'm positive too, you know.
There's extraterrestrials with a jelly. They have octopus heads, and they are highly intelligent that live underwater.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
I've seen an aquatic being before, though.
I think Bradley likes all the tentacles that the octopus has.
That's probably it. Maybe you like those little suction cut hands that can grab everything. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people, from what I've read and stuff, the octopus probably is from extraterrestrials, you know, because they really can't figure out how they're so smart, you know. And
yeah, and they do look alien. They do look alien.
They really do. Yeah. But there's a lot of marine life, how they can regrow, you know, like a starfish. If they lose one of their tentacle parts, they could regrow it and things. So we can probably learn a lot from studying that. We really don't know a lot about our oceans, to be honest, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, they go down so far. I mean, the depth, the pressure down there is astronomical. I mean, you know, it's depths that we don't really have any technology to get reached down there.
Yeah, our body doesn't adapt to it at all. Yeah. But you know, I did the thing that really freaked me out, or it didn't freak me out. I was not surprised about the Mexico hearings, but it's just our scientists, there's so much they don't know, you know.
Right.
And they just don't know what to do with it. But I think the thing is just admit we don't know, you know.
Well, you know,
we may need a little help with some of this stuff. You know,
man's problem is he always tries to outsmart nature, but nature will always overrule man.
That's true.
And he's got this attitude that the earth belongs to him, when in reality, man belongs to the earth.
Yeah. I heard some people say, you know, like they had all these scientists down there, physicists and scientists doing the studies in Mexico. They even had some Japanese guys come over. And then I was like listening to some of the news stations, and they were talking about, and they were like, well, they need to send our guys from Harvard and Stanford and all these places. And I'm thinking, what? Those people aren't as smart as our guys? I mean, come on. I don't know. I think in America, we tend to get a little too cocky on thinking we're the best at everything. So,
Oh yeah. We're the ones that want to police the world, but
yeah,
that's all by design,
yeah.
Phoenix Demise is asking a question. Here's a question for you. Who was the first human on the moon?
I don't believe we went to the moon, but they like you to believe it was what was his name?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah. And Buzz Aldrin, and I forgot the other guy's name that was stayed in the I don't know, because I like to research, and I think that there's a lot of things that have happened that we don't know about, So I think probably Russia may have actually beat us up there. I don't know that for a fact.
I think that's all smoke screens and mirrors. I don't even believe we've gone to the moon. If we went in the 1960s, why haven't we gone back? We had the technology then. We should have a shuttle going back and forth by now.
Yeah,
apparently we've lost all the technology that told us how to get there. We've lost it all, apparently.
Yeah, of course we have.
I never understood why they just shut the shuttle down. I mean, I know that one mishap, where the school teacher died and stuff, but I don't know. It's just like I don't know what happened, but
you have the Van Allen radiation belt that you wouldn't be able to get through to get to the moon.
Yeah. I grew up pretty close to the Space and Rocket Center. So, I've always was fascinated by space and science, telescopes and things of that nature. So, and I've always had my eyes to the sky looking for, extraterrestrials. And all my life, I've been able to see them, and I would recognize them. Nobody else would, but I knew that they, what it was and who they were and what they were doing. So it's amazing.
They monitor our existence.
Oh, they know everything. They've appeared to me many, many times, and they know everything that's going on in my life, pretty much. Yeah. So I feel fortunate. Really, there was a time that I didn't feel so fortunate, but now I do. I'm at peace. I realize why I'm here, what it's all about, the importance of us all working together to make this happen, because this is the biggest thing that humans have ever done.
I went through the same thing. I had to rationalize this out within myself for over a year before I became comfortable in my own skin,
Right. Yeah. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is. And, I understand that other people don't have the love and desire and can see the beauty of it all working out for humanity. But, if I could just inspire one person or wake up other contactees, that'd be plenty for me. Because I know, and I don't expect everybody to believe me. And I think everybody should question things and should do their own research. I'm not asking anybody to believe me.
Exactly. We have a question here. Is it true that Germans went to the moon before the Americans? I've seen some accounts where they actually are suggesting they're seeing as how the Americans got most of their technology from the Germans after World War II.
Werner von Braun, yes, they got him over here, and he lived in Huntsville, Alabama. And yeah, they brought over all these scientists. As a matter of fact, there's still a pretty good sized German population over in Huntsville, Alabama. So, I don't know. I've heard different stories and stuff. Personally, I was not there, so I couldn't say that anything was true or not. I know what you do from reading a book or something. So, and when I am in craft and with them, I'm more about what's happening right then and there. I totally forget all these other things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I know people like, well, why didn't you take a picture? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, or why didn't you take something? And I can tell you why I wouldn't take something is because I know in my heart that it's real. And I know, it would be an insult to them if I questioned it, because that was the whole point of getting me groomed into this. The whole point of getting me aware and understanding was to trust and believe and accept who I am. So that would there's no way I would ever do anything like that.
Well, not only that, I mean, we can't convince everybody. The best thing for them is to experience it for themselves.
Yeah. And, everybody's on their own spiritual level. Everybody
And
is here
and,
probably for different reasons. I just know
and
that this is why I'm here.
even if you get a picture or a video, they tell you it's either photoshopped or it's the
Yeah.
video
AI
isn't
generated.
real. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
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 CGI and all that baloney. So
Well,
people
and
will wake up when the time is right.
that's why I know that, certain events have to happen to pull everybody up to the big awakening and for them to realize, what's going on in the world and stuff. So, nobody can fix everything. That's for sure.
Well, there's no such thing as perfection. I mean,
Right.
it's just a law of nature itself.
Right. But I'm just so thankful that I'm alive and I'm having this opportunity to be a part of something so great and so important. I mean, it's amazing. We're very lucky in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the age of Aquarius, the age of technology. That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to, once we sort of gain their trust and acknowledge them and we start having face-to-face, I think our lives will be better quality of living. A lot of things will change, and
Well, yeah, once people realize on a worldwide scale that they do in fact exist, they can teach us how to live without jealousy, without greed.
Yes.
Probably
they can teach us how to live longer, healthier lives too.
Right, exactly. They can teach us how to cure any disease that may afflict us.
Yeah.
But see, we gotta want that. We have to want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have to accept that.
Yes.
And that has to be on a collective scale.
It really does. Well, I know that I'm not anything special. There's other people just like me. And I know that we're all groomed to vibrate on a very high frequency and, and to encourage others to be more positive, more forgiving, be better human beings and things of that nature. So,
Well, the problem with that is, since birth, society grooms everyone. See?
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is you're born into a world society that's a brainwashing from infancy, and there's no greater brainwashing than that.
Well, time to wake up. Time to wake some folks up.
That's why that's why this show is called Out of the Box. You got to think out of the box.
Mm-hmm. It's time to do it, and that's what there's no stopping me at this point. There's just no stopping it, and I know they're so proud of me that they've showed me in very minor ways. Like I'll see, they will put a craft where I can see it. And I'm just like, I just want to cry because I know what they're doing. That's my reward, So it's very beautiful. And of course, nobody could possibly understand what it is like for an experiencer or contactee like me, and I understand that. But I can tell you the truth that they're honestly benevolent, loving, and want to help this planet, everything on it, including us humans.
Well, when our mission is over, we'll be back home from where we came.
Yes. Yes. I know that too. And that's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? A lot of people don't know where they're going to go, you know, but I know that I have a family up there waiting on me. And I know that, you know, that's why they don't tell me everything, because they don't, I'm going to complete my mission. And if I knew too much, then I might want to go home.
Right.
But, you know, I've had 2 sons here and I want to be with them. So I don't want to know too much about that just yet. Maybe as I do get a little older, you know, I would love to know.
Well, the day will come when the time is right.
Yes. And that's something they've always told me. You'll know when it's time, you know, so.
That's right.
And they haven't gotten anything wrong yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with their technology, there's no reason not to trust them, because with their technology, if they didn't like mankind, they could have obliterated us a long time ago.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Exactly.
We would just wouldn't be here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Is there any more questions from the audience or anything y'all want to ask?
Well, I don't know. I can't see all of them that are coming through. Bradley might be able to get a.
I got some questions coming through at the moment. But you have to recognize there's a malevolent and benevolent extraterrestrials. We got good and bad. However, do you believe we are the Galactic Federation Council are actually protecting us from the malevolent extraterrestrials from invading us?
I know that there is a group of many races where I go on craft, and I do know that I have seen humans and extraterrestrials, and they seem like they're soldiers, and they seem like they're on route going somewhere. And whenever I ask them questions, because I get to roam freely sometimes, not every time, but sometimes, and basically they said, we're not allowed to talk to you. So, you know, there's some things they don't want me to know right now, you know, for whatever reason it is. I don't know, you know, but I don't know everything. I'll be honest, I do not know everything.
Who does?
I can say. Go ahead, Bradley.
God knows everything.
Well, they call him creator source.
The prime creator source, yes.
Yeah, it's the energy, in essence, a universal energy that makes all things possible.
Yes. And that's what I believe. And I truly believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
So to further answer that question, you know, I'm sure there's a lot. I mean, you know, they're here, and I know that they advised the lower rim extraterrestrials that are not interdimensional. So that might be something that I could explain, is that like these lower rim extraterrestrials are like the reptilians, one race of grays. There's many races of each species of extraterrestrials. Like there's a bunch of different Arcturians, a lot of different Palladians, a lot of different Anunnaki, a lot of different grays, a lot of different reptilians. And I have met a reptilian, but he was on board with all these other races, and he was good. He was nice, and he wore a uniform and had a symbol over on what would be our heart side. And I meant to remember it, and I remember looking at it, but right now I couldn't tell you what it looked like. But I know that they have a signa. But
the lower level alien species are more like bottom feeders.
Yes, and I could be wrong, but the grays, the grays that are not nice are from Orion, and they kind of have like bonded in with the reptilians that are not so good, and they are working with the cabal and Illuminati to they want to keep us nailed down as a slave race, and they
Yeah, the
because
draconians. Yeah, the
yes, they want to
draconians, yeah.
control us because they are not able to become interdimensional. Human beings, we can become interdimensional. So they don't want us to ascend or have our relationship with the interdimensionals because we can do something they can't do. We can become
Right.
interdimensional. They cannot. So and I know that when the interdimensionals got into our solar system and close to Earth, they told a lot of those guys to get the heck out of here. And I've seen feed from the ISS where there's like thousands of ships taken off from Earth trying to get away from here. But obviously there's still some here. And I think that's even what this war is about, is they're on there doing everything possible trying to fight what they know is the inevitable is going to happen. We're going to have disclosure, and we're going to have face-to-face with interdimensionals, and our life is going to change.
Yeah, there's a constant flux of going and coming with the extraterrestrials.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's very hard to understand. It's they're so ahead of us, and and their mind is so different than our mind. They're more task oriented, and we're all
like
emotional.
Yeah, they're more like scouts, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're all emotional. We're all over the place, but they do. I do know this.
We have a question here. A Facebook user is saying, I've heard that the Galactic Federation fleet have been scattered, and it's actually the Arcturians who defend Earth and humanity against nefarious aliens.
Nefarious aliens. Yeah.
There's a lot of races out there. There's a lot. And it's a group of benevolent ones, then they're all working together. And it's been a while back, but I met with some elders at one time. And so I saw a group of elders, which would be a council, and they were different races were represented. There's not one race that controls everything. They're all, the ones that are benevolent are connected. They're all connected.
Some say this is the reptilian
they all have
planet.
the same agenda.
Some say this is the reptilian planet. What do you think about that, Nancy?
We're not a reptilian planet. They have been.
But it's being controlled by the reptilians at the moment.
And all of our politicians and things of this nature are puppets to them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's what needs to change. We've got a lot of things to change.
And there is big changes coming.
Yes, there is. There is. Yes. And, I don't know exactly how it's all going to play out, but it is happening and it will play out.
Yeah, it's very intricate to be able to come out with full disclosure because there's so many, different.
Yeah.
It's a very, very intricate procedure, actually.
And there's a lot of people that simply don't want it, people that own some major oil companies and own all these banks and things like that. They don't want these changes to come.
Well, no, of course not, because
pharmaceutical company investors, those big guys, that's another thing. A lot of the medications and things that we take really are not good for us. They're synthetic,
Right.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
And
it's all about the almighty buck and the power that comes along with it.
Yes, and that's unfortunate. So that's got to change. It really does. And they can help us because they've seen this in other places before.
Right.
And,
So how many species of extraterrestrials have you encountered, Nancy? Has there been a few?
Yes. I've seen a reptilian, different types of grays, different types of humanoids. And then I've seen some that nobody really, I've seen an aquatic being, and there's some that like they may have humanoid looking down to torso. And then if you look at their feet, it may be like an animal or something, you know. So there's a lot of different races out there that we don't even know about, or not enough of them have been reported, I guess. I don't know. And also I do know, like, just because we call some Anunnaki, we call some Arturian or the Greys, that's not what they go by out there. I mean, they don't go by that, you know.
Yeah, that's how we identify them.
Yeah. All those things are man-made, you know, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, I like the way you roll, Nancy. You've definitely got your head screwed on, and like, yeah, it's very. All your perceptions are very close to. Many people feel the same way you feel. They think the same way you think. So that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry on. You're a light worker, obviously, and a truth seeker, no doubt.
Yes. And, you know, I believe in being positive. And, you know, I try to tell people, if you think something negative, purposely think of 2 positive things to replace it, you know.
Yeah, and for those who don't believe, time will tell.
That's right. And another thing that I like to say is this war that we have going on. Don't pick a side. And the reason I say don't pick a side is because if you pick a side, you're sort of agreeing with the negative energy. So what I say is pray or meditate for peace. Don't pick a side. Pray for peace. Meditate for peace.
And that's exactly right, because all these wars are by design. Okay.
Right.
It's not really because one country is mad at another country. It's all by design.
It's all about trying to keep us divided. You know,
financial purposes. Keep everybody divided, which is known as divide and conquer, and that's all by design.
Yeah. And you know, probably at one time when all our continents were together, we probably all had the same language at one time.
Yeah. That was the Tower of Babel that allegedly fractured our language, so we all spoke differently. Yeah, the Tower of Babel. Babel is I'm right in the Bible.
Yeah. So where in are you in Great Britain or England or?
I'm in England. Yeah, I'm an Essex boy. I live 40 miles from London, but I moved to Wales at the moment. But I'm actually from near London. Yeah. And I'm from near the Thames, actually. I'm near the Thames.
Oh.
Coincidental.
Yeah. Someday I hope I get to see the Thames River. That would be awesome.
Why are you called Thames, Nancy? Any idea about your surname?
It was an ex-husband's last name. He told me it was Thames, and I was like, all right, whatever you say, good, you know, so it stuck. Yeah. So.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Yes, excuse me. When Jim's online, you have to smoke a cigarette.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
I must make Bradley nervous. I don't know.
Yeah. Jim makes me suck. You can't beat sucking on a fag.
A fag.
That's what they.
Oh, now you talk like an Aussie. That's what they call them.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's not what we call them here.
He wants to blame me for sucking on a fag.
Yeah. I'm not even touching that. That can be between you and him. I'm not getting involved in that. Oh my goodness.
So, how long have you been an alien contactee, Nancy?
All my life. All my life.
Yes. You have been blessed.
My sister is also an experiencer, and my son is also an experiencer. So I've been very lucky that I've had them to talk to all my life, and we, have kind of pieced things together between us, different experiences and piecing things together, and it's helped a lot. It's a very lonesome world if you have nobody to talk to about this and having to keep it suppressed. And I've done that because I've been in a marriage before that they thought, you're some kind of weird Kool-Aid or something, They thought you were crazy. So, yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you lose a lot of friends, don't you? You should find out who your friends are. Yeah.
Yep.
For having an open mind. Yeah. Thinking outside the box, you find out who your friends are.
Absolutely. And what's funny though is now that more people are finding out about this and waking up, and they'll see it on the news, and they're like, you'll find they'll start to ask people like us questions, and it's kind of cool, it's like, oh, so now you want to talk to me about that. Yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting world we're living in, but man, I'll tell you, I just know it's going to be grand. It's going to be great. We're lucky to be alive right now and experiencing this. Honestly, I just think it's wonderful.
You are a contactee, Nancy. Have you ever been abducted, do you believe?
No. When I lived in Australia, I don't know how it all happened, except that I felt myself, and I thought I was having an out of body experience because it was like, there I go. And I end up in a craft, and I'm on an exam table, and there's all these humans running around, and I'm like, what is this? And basically they were saying, take her back, we can't touch her. So that was probably the closest thing is I had to an abduction was that. And that was not ET.
Wow.
That wasn't my group anyway. Yeah.
Have you ever contacted spiritual entities at all?
No. I have seen a ghost one time, and it did not scare me. I didn't scare it, and it didn't scare me. And I just watched it. To me, it was, I was working at Fort Benning, Georgia for the Army in the dental profession. And I was sitting out in the backyard at night, and it looked like a Confederate soldier, and he was carrying like a bucket, like, how they would carry a bucket, maybe to have some food or something in. And he had his gun like up around over his shoulder, and he had a bucket that was just kind of going back and forth, and he was just looked like it was a Confederate soldier, and he was just walking around headed somewhere. He wasn't fazed by me or anything, and I just watched. I was like, wow. So
got a Facebook user here saying this is what we talked about when we referred to as elevating our frequencies. This then moves us beyond the frequency fence set up by the reptilians here to control humanity, otherwise known as the Matrix. By removing ourselves from this setup, we then become what's called true free humans.
We will become true free humans, but we can do this. We absolutely can, and we're fortunate that we need to embrace this opportunity to have a little assistance from our brothers. And we are family to them, but they're not going to, impose themselves on us if we're not ready, but.
Well, I firmly believe we all have alien DNA anyway.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, reptilian, actually, I reckon. Yeah, but a mixture. What they call junk DNA is not junk DNA at all. It's extraterrestrial DNA. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. And and a lot of people do that RH negative, thinking that that's like some kind of something to do with it, but not. in my lineage, my sister and myself and my son were A positive. So I don't think that really has anything to do with it unless it's something the lower rim extraterrestrials, the what do you call those, draconian lizards or the reptilians?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, reptilians live below the surface of the earth. Alpha Draconians, believe it or not, live 200 miles below the surface of the earth. They are master city builders, and it's an ideal habitat for them. The Greys say the Alpha Draconians are the ultimate warriors, although I don't agree with that. Dragons are the ultimate warriors, if you believe in dragons. Do you believe in dragons, Nancy?
Oh, anything is possible. I believe that we had dragons and we had all kinds of things, apparently there's a lot of tinkering going on with different genetics and stuff. So anything is possible,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we're coming to the end of the show now, and it's been a pleasure. You've chatted so much, you've shared so
You've been
much.
a wonderful guest.
Yep. Yeah, you've been a
Thank
great
you.
guest.
Thank you very much. This is my life. This is my topic, and I love it. So I hope you have me back sometime, because I love talking about it. I could talk forever.
Yeah, that's
we could listen.
Yeah.
We'll have you again. We'll have you again as a guest.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. I certainly appreciate it. And I've had a wonderful time, enjoyed it. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you on board, Nancy.
Thank
Thames. Nancy Thames.
Yeah, like the Thames River. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, well, pleasure. Thank you for joining us, Nancy. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
You've been very
thank all the viewers for interaction. And
thank you.
We'll see you all on the next one.
Yeah.
Pray for peace.
Yeah. Thank you for